Welcome back to episode 20 of the Dropped Outdoors podcast. Ooh. Landon's trying to push buttons.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Hey, that was actually kind of fun. I ain't gonna lie. In a weird way, I don't know if 20 is really celebratory. Like number 10, you're in double digits. Not a lot of podcasts even make it to double digits. We've doubled that shit. So
I think that's what the I don't know, the big on 20 is that most make it to about 10.
Yeah.
And now we're double.
Yeah. I'm excited about it though.
And I remember 10, like, I feel like that was yesterday. Like the first 10 took a long time. The second 10 flew by.
I agree. I remember us like 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're like, fuck. Like, we're so far away from number 10. And I feel like we just did 10 like 2 weeks ago, and now we're at episode fucking 20.
Yeah.
We're like, holy shit, what the hell's going on? We always talk about our episode 100 and getting there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's like years away. I'm sitting here thinking about, I'm like, it is technically like 2 years away.
Yeah, it'd be roughly about 2 years, but I mean, we're already
it's getting there fucking fast.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think what is 52? So 26. We're 6 episodes from doing this basically for 6 months now.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like half the year.
I have commitment issues.
I've never
done anything for 6 months.
That's exactly right. And we've stuck to it.
My wife and hunting.
Yeah.
And not really even hunting, just to being outdoors. I feel like the only thing I've ever stuck with for 6 months after basketball. But anyways, episode fucking 20, fellas. I might have said, I didn't say the F word. I bleeped it myself. I said,
well, you already dropped
You're welcome.
An F and an S.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
Prove it.
Show
the replay.
Easily proved.
Show the replay. Didn't happen. Anyways, since Landon wants to lie to everybody, episode 20.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'm excited.
So, outside of that excitement, what was your excitement for the week, my friend? Anything fun happen, or is it finally boring? I know we were looking forward to boring after the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but
it's boring right now. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff like in the works and going on and stuff like that. But this week has been boring, and I'm glad because now I've got a trip for 11 days, I think.
Yeah.
So
we need to start getting together and actually act like we're best friends and communicate outside of this and plan our fucking vacations out better. Because you go for like 11 days right now.
Yeah.
And then I'm gone for like 5 or 6 days at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And then the very next month at the beginning, we're also gone again for 10 or 11 days.
Yeah. So
it's what happens when you're famous podcast and YouTubers,
you just get to go on vacations and do whatever you want to do pretty much.
Yeah, you take vacation from your actual job that pays the bills because this doesn't pay shit. I did. It was weird. I had my first small town celebrity moment today.
Oh.
Never even seen these kids before in my life. No idea who the hell they are. Tell you the truth, don't even remember what their damn names were. One had a little shaggy bottom head, like a little mop head, and the other one has like the broccoli hair.
Oh, yeah.
Like your nephews.
Yeah.
And they came up to me and they're like, "Hey, Dropped Outdoors, you're on the podcast." I was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "Dude, we love that podcast. We listen to it all the time. Our whole friend group does." And you could tell they were. I don't want to stereotype people because I don't know if that's how it is in school anymore. But you know how when we grew up, you kind of had the jocks, you had the skater kids.
There's definitely
then you had like the rodeo kids.
Yeah.
These kids definitely would have been like the rodeo hunting kids. But really, I mean, they were really nice, but came up to me out of nowhere, like in the little store in JC's, talking all about it and everything, and like talking about shit on the podcast itself. Like they actually watch it. And
I don't even watch it. That's crazy.
Shook my hands and shit. I even took a picture with one of them.
Dang, son.
No idea who they were. I appreciate the coming up to me though. That was actually kind of fun. But they walked outside and they had like a group of, I guess, high school age people.
Yeah.
And you could see them pointing inside and talking and stuff. So I felt kind of cool about it. I was like, hell yeah. If I would have known they were talking about me, I would have been out there and taken pictures with all of them.
Yeah.
I can't wait till that shit happens. You're probably dreading it, but I'm actually excited about
dreading it. It's going to be interesting to see like what I decide to say or do. I'm like, yeah.
I'm definitely a shake babies and kiss hands type of guy, and you're just like, don't talk to me. I'm a cactus.
I might just shake your baby.
I'm just gonna shake your baby. I don't know what to do with this thing right now.
Oh man, no, that's cool as hell. I guess I need to start practicing my signature since we're celebrities and stuff now.
Yeah. Well, he was like, man, he goes, I started watching because I saw y'all on TikTok and y'all said something about Parker County and it was like episode 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And he said, I knew y'all were around here, but I'd had no idea y'all were in Peaster. And I was like, yeah, we actually record right up the road. They started talking about the armory on the wall. And I was like, bro, if you even knew, that's not even a quarter of the firearms. You'd be really impressed. I was like, that's on the wall. You should see the other 3 or 4 safes.
Yeah, you
can't
gotta find
even,
the safes
that you can't even fucking open because shit falls out on top of you. That's why we can switch this shit around so much whenever we want to.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, that's why he started watching it. And he said he was listening to it one day and his buddy was in the car, the guy that was with him. He said it just kind of grew across their friend group because it was local and they thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And he was like, now we kind of enjoy watching it. Like we look forward to Wednesdays and when they come out and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, they knew what time when it came out.
That's crazy.
And he was like, what time does it start on Wednesdays? He was like, I don't even know when it drops. I just know it's there usually when I get out of school.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have no idea, brother. I leave that up to Landon. He's the producer. He does all that back end stuff. I'm just there to look pretty. And he just died laughing. He was like, okay. I was like, usually Wednesday mornings is when it's supposed to come out.
It's normally Wednesday mornings if I'm on my shit.
Yeah, but they all watch it on YouTube.
That's pretty cool. I like it.
So I thought it was kind of cool. And like I said, he started watching it because he heard us talk about Parker County and then he found it and started subscribing just because of that.
That's pretty cool.
But I thought it was pretty dope myself. So I was like, hell yeah. So small town celebrity. Nothing big.
You didn't catch a name or anything?
Oh no, they told me their name. They shook my hand and I'm just a piece of
Appreciate you
shit.
guys.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all coming up and saying something. That was really cool. But nope. And then I had a lady that I'm not going to say her name because I don't know if she wants to be out there because she's about a little older than us, but she's been following it and stuff. And she got sent to England for 2 weeks for TikTok because I guess she went viral on something.
That's pretty cool.
She actually works at the store and everything. And like, she was like, it wasn't really fun. She was like, it was really more work because of why I got sent. She was like, I just stayed drunk all the time though. I was like, hell yeah. But she was like, I honestly enjoyed it.
Ashley Hibiscus.
Ashley Hibiscus.
Forgot that was plugged in.
Is that like is you have a flower beside your wife's name?
That's her, like, I don't know. When we got married in Hawaii.
No.
So
you put a little hibiscus flower.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny that it says Ashley Hibiscus.
Yeah. No, it normally doesn't announce like that, but I guess since it was all plugged into
the road. Just so y'all know, we found out that the road has a bunch of different audio voiceovers, and we were playing with them, prank calling our friends, and
I don't want to.
You don't want to?
I mean, just do it for a minute. It'd be kind of funny.
So we were sitting there prank calling our friends and talking like this and just being absolutely crazy. And it
all kind of just, I don't like that.
The switch is weird.
I go from sounding all good looking and everything to sounding like me, and that's not good. But, no, she shared it out to all her friends. She was like, honestly, she was like, I like y'all's content. She was like, there's not a whole lot of podcasts I listen to, but y'all kind of make me laugh. And she was like, and honestly, I never would have thought in a million years Landon would be on a podcast, but he does a really good job. And like, she gave you a bunch of compliments.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. No, I don't think anybody thought I'd be doing this.
You didn't think you'd be doing it.
Hell no.
Everybody's like,
I still don't think I'd be doing it.
How are you on a podcast? You're awkward. You're like, I know. Tell me about it.
If it wasn't with this guy, I don't know how the hell I'd do it.
And you know what's funny is we call you awkward. And we make fun of you. And when I say we, I'm talking about me, our friend group, yourself included.
Yeah, me too.
But do you think, I've never really stopped and thought about it until right now, honestly. Do you think you're awkward in the general sense? Or are you just awkward with our friend group? Because everybody in our friend group are like, if you're within 3 feet of us, we're talking to you, outgoing personalities.
That's why I'm more awkward than I would consider myself. Because like, you put me out doing work and stuff like that, and I can talk to my customers. It's not a problem. But like with y'all, like I don't talk much because there's really not a whole lot of room to talk.
We are all
It doesn't matter which one of you it is. It's everybody, but I'd say Kevin,
Yeah.
and even
Kevin talks more than
Can-
you,
yeah.
but he's definitely not me or Brad.
yeah, exactly, or Colton for that matter.
That's true.
Like you put Colton in the group, and he's gonna talk more than.
See, Colton's a weird one though, because when Colton's in a group of 10 people, he's more reserved. He
Yeah.
don't say a whole lot. Colton's in a group of like me, you, and him,
Yeah.
where he's super comfortable. He could arguably out-talk me.
yeah,
Like
yeah, exactly.
but Colton, y'all have never got to meet Colton. Hopefully one day we can get him on here.
Yeah,
But he's we called him, I think, Mr. CEO, and
yeah,
introduced him in the first podcast. But with him, he's a very dominant, like, I'm not going to say like maybe a powerful body.
yeah,
Like he is very outspoken, and he like kind of commands the audience when he's talking.
yeah,
And I think that's just because he has been over major corporations
Yeah.
most of his life. So when he speaks, he don't know how to blend
Yeah,
into the
he's not
crowd.
gonna-
He
he's
is
not
the
gonna-
dominant voice.
fall into
Yeah.
with everybody else. He is gonna be up here.
So whenever he has something to say, he's like, I'm talking now. It's time for you to be quiet.
Yeah,
And he don't mean it like that, but that's just the way he
that's
is.
the way it comes out.
So whenever it's just us three,
yeah,
he is
I mean,
there.
I've always been
You
been
have.
like sit back and talk and or sit back and listen and all that stuff. So I don't know. It's a little bit of both.
Well, when we went for your bachelor party to the ocean,
Yeah,
I think about stuff like this. And again, with our group of friends, you are the more reserved, quiet, socially awkward person.
yeah,
But you're out there on the beach with 800 people and you're slamming beers and doing shots and
Oh, yeah.
high-fiving strangers. And you know what I mean? So you're
Yeah.
really not, like, you find friends everywhere you go.
yeah,
But I was just thinking about that. I was like, it's funny because we call Landon socially awkward. I don't really feel like you can be a high-end salesperson like you've always been
Yeah.
and be too socially awkward.
yeah. Exactly.
You're just with, and that's what I think about when we talk about our size. I see myself and I'm like, I'm not fucking intimidating at all. Like, why would you be intimidated by me? And I don't feel like I'm that big.
yeah,
But then we do measurements and shit for plate carriers and shit like that. And I'm like, damn, I'm 6'3", 260. I have 58-inch shoulders. Like,
yeah.
I'm a pretty big guy.
Big old guy.
And then you're 6'4", but that's the thing. You're 6'4", I'm 6'3", Brad's 6'2", 6'3", Tyler's 6'6", 6'5".
Yeah.
Like, we're not big in our friend group. Like,
No.
we're
Like all of us seem about the same, and so
Yeah.
every time like I'm around y'all, it's just like, hey, this is normal. Whenever in reality, we're averaging like 6 inches over.
most people. I think the average height now in America is like, what, 5'9", 5'10"?
Yeah,
So, I mean, just the average height, I'm 4 inches taller than the average person. And even in our friend group, like body wise, muscle mass, stuff like that, I'm bigger than everybody.
yeah,
And I don't see it with our friend group though. So whenever I get out there around people and you talk to people that are like, and I've talked to people a million times that I went to college with and stuff, and they're like, oh, I was going to come up and talk to you, but I decided not to. Oh, why not? Well, you're a little intimidating. It's like, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not. What are
Like,
you
do
talking
you even
about?
fucking know me?
Yeah,
But I guess body stature wise, it makes sense because what I'm always around, I don't find myself big.
no.
So
and even for me, like I don't.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, you're so tall, and I'm like, I don't feel it.
well, that's what's funny is Amanda. I think it was Amanda I was talking to said something about it, and I was like, Landon's not big, and she was like, Landon's fucking huge. And I was like, no, he's not. She was like, babe, he is fucking 6'4". Like, he is not a small guy. Like, compared to you, yes, he's not as physically wide as
Yeah.
you. He's like, but he's a big guy. And then I start thinking about it, and we're looking at our measurements and stuff, and I was like, Landon really is a big fucking dude. Like, I've never thought about Landon as a big guy,
Yeah, no.
but I don't think about me as a big guy.
yeah, it's strange.
So when it comes, that's what made me start thinking about the social awkwardness. I was like, maybe we make fun of him for being social awkward because of us. And he's honestly a really normal person that's
Yeah.
not even socially awkward at all. He's just not us. So we think it's socially
Yeah.
awkward.
No, there's definitely some though, because like you put me in a big group of people that I don't know, and I'm not saying a word. And even like you come up and talk to me, and I'm still gonna fumble over words and shit just because I'm like, I think I try to overthink conversations, and I think we've talked about this before, where I really need to kind of have it acted and
Yeah.
planned out in my head. And if I have it planned out in my head, then
Good to go.
we're good.
And see, I think I cheated Did 2 years of public speaking.
Dude,
So-
you've always been outgoing, like since you were.
But the speaking wise,
Oh yeah,
I learned that there. Like I don't use I don't use and, I don't really I stumble,
yeah,
but it was always -1 each time you did that in a speaking class.
yeah.
So I've cut all that out of my out of my vocabulary. And all of my other friends, they'll be talking and they can't think of something, so they'll be like, so we went ahead and did this, and
Yeah, no.
and I just pause, like I've taught myself to, so I don't stumble as much because I think about it before I say it. So I cheated.
That makes sense.
It's not a fair assessment. I'm
Yeah.
a cheater.
Um.
You
Okay.
taking a screenshot of the podcast?
No,
or
I
what?
was just checking. Daughter texts me and she's like, "What day are we leaving?" After I've told her 37 times.
You're not going, Kinsley. You're not allowed. You're grounded.
And you're not going anymore.
Yep.
No, she.
She excited.
I think so. I was shocked. 'Cause,
Well, give us a rundown. Finish that, and then give us a rundown of what you are doing.
Yeah, so I was a little shocked because she's at that teenage stage now where she's like, nope, I'm just gonna hold up in my room. So half the time, I barely see her. Like the other day, I took it as a huge win. I had her come out and I was like, hey, I made dinner or whatever. Or Ashley made dinner, and she like came out and actually sat down and ate with us. And I was like, hey, look at
We're
this.
a family.
Yeah, look at this. Because I mean, most of the time I'm like, hey, you want to eat? And she's like, I ate ramen earlier. Okay, Kinsley. And then I'll give her crap. I'm like, Kinsley. And she'll like walk out and she's like, what? And I was like, I love you. And then she walks back in her room. I'm like, Kinsley. And like, and straight back in her room. So teenage years.
Braxton's getting there where I'll yell at him, be like, B. And he'll, what? Don't what me,
Don't
boy.
get
Come over
out
here and
here.
look at me. And he'll walk out there and I'll just be like, I'm just seeing if you're still alive. And he'll roll his eyes and walk back into his bedroom.
Yo, that's where we're at now. So like, to see her kind of light up about the trip and stuff, like she cleaned her room, got everything packed and everything before she went back to her mom's house, and so she's a little excited.
Well, give us a rundown. What are y'all doing?
Oh man, if you want to talk for a second, I'll come up with an itinerary of basically what we've got going on, because I don't know exactly. My wife has got everything planned, and
So this
I'm
is
along for the ride.
another momentum stopper, huh?
no.
Since your wife planned it.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, it's really not that bad though, because this was like planned ahead.
Landon
has
has a
been-
problem planning trips for like $3,000 to $5,000. Ashley plans it's like $15,000 to $25,000.
Nah, not that bad. This one's not. This one's expensive, but it's not going to be that bad.
I'll say there ain't no way this one isn't expensive from what you've told me y'all are doing.
I mean, the Airbnbs are going to be a little expensive, but it's not.
It's just a lot of movement. There's
Yeah.
a lot of travel involved.
Yep, a lot of travel. I don't know where it went. I don't know where it went at all.
Can you not just give us a rough estimate off of your head?
So in my head, it's literally like, so we're bouncing over, watching fireworks in the mountains at Eagle's Nest over the lake that they have out there,
Where's that?
northern New Mexico,
Okay.
up by Red River.
Okay.
So gonna stop there the first night.
That's where your dad's
Yeah, Red River,
vacation
yeah.
house is, right?
Yep. And so
Are you staying there or y'all staying in an Airbnb?
no, we're just gonna stay at an Airbnb down in Eagle's Nest, and then we get up the next morning and we're going into Utah, and then bouncing, I guess, up a couple of national parks in Utah, and then making our way to Yellowstone National Park, staying there for at least a day or two, and then we're going up to Glacier National Park, and I think Jackson Hole. I don't know where
I
that's
don't know anything
at
about
either.
it.
I don't, like I said, I don't know.
Never met a Jackson and know where his holes is.
Oh.
So you're just bouncing national park,
Yeah.
national park, national
Yep.
park. So
Yep,
what was
road
the,
tripping?
I would say, what was the mindset on it? Was just doing a road trip, or because I'm lazy on vacation. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna do nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my walk, my weighted walk. Like I'm excited about Broken Bow, just because I found us an Airbnb. It cost me a little extra, but I found one in, I think it's Bear Creek Park or whatever
Yeah.
it is. But it has that's where all the hiking trails are.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm excited about staying there right on the water and hitting those trails every morning at 5, 6 o'clock before everybody wakes up. So, but whenever I go on vacation, I don't want an itinerary.
yeah.
I want to go. I want to do whatever the hell I want to for 6, 7 days, and then come home.
Yeah.
I don't like the bouncing around and driving around and all that. You have to do it with kids regardless, but
Yeah.
minimal as possible.
So I guess 3 or probably 4 years ago now. Ashley was coming back from Idaho after she did all the travel nursing up there during COVID.
Yeah.
And so when we were driving back, we were like, well, let's make a little bit of a trip out of it, and spent like a half a day up in Glacier, straight down to Yellowstone in Wyoming, and then straight from there, straight down through Colorado, and then straight home. It was like
Yeah.
2.5, 3 days, and we ran through almost all of that stuff. So it was kind of like, it was a really cool trip, but we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time, and then wanted Kinsley to kind of experience some of that stuff. So it's like, all right.
So it
let's
was
go.
planned because of a spontaneous
Yeah.
mini vacation that.
Yep.
So you're not going to have hardly any R&R.
I mean,
You're going
unless the wife's driving, I'm pretty well.
You're going to be waking up in the
Pretty well
morning,
cooked.
driving to the next place.
Yeah.
You're going to be more tired whenever you get back from this.
I'm gonna need a vacation.
We'll call
from
it
my
a vacation.
Yeah.
As soon as you get back than you would have been from working all week.
Yep. No, that's exactly what
It'll
it
be
is.
fun,
But
though.
I'm excited. It's enjoyable. There's gonna be a lot of memorable hiking trails and shit like what you were talking
Yeah.
about. I mean, glaciers up in the mountains.
That's one thing I want to do. Like, I'm taking my weighted vest with us to Colorado
Yeah.
because I want to go, just whether it's in the middle of the day, whatever it is.
We'll have plenty of time during the middle
Yeah.
of the day.
I just want to go for a hike.
Yep.
3, 5, 6 miles, whatever, through the mountains with my vest on. I just think it would be fun. And I'm not going to jog it. I'm not going to do anything like that. I just want to walk it.
Oh yeah.
And I figure might as well take my weighted vest, get an exercise out of it. But I don't know. I think it would be cool. Maybe go walk the hot springs. Or
Wherever they were
maybe
at.
hike down to the hot springs where they said you could go, but they've never went because
Yep.
they don't want to do it. We just take it as a trip and go do it. Take the vest off, soak in the hot springs for a little bit, throw the
Yep.
vest back on, hike back up.
No, that's my plan. I obviously, if there's something there to be seen, I want to see it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting a little adventurous.
And like I said, I do have my tendencies where I want to sit, but I don't like to sit around.
Yeah.
Like even on vacations where I don't want to do anything like planned wise, I'm never just sitting in the
Yeah.
Airbnb.
No, just not laying around.
Like I want to be in the water. I want to be doing something, but I don't want to be in a car.
Yeah.
I don't, stuff like that. So that's I just want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And my wife hates me for it sometimes, but in her defense, I see the piece of shit side of it for me where I'm like, she wants to do all these plans and I want to do this while we're there. I want to do this while we're there. I want to do this. The kids would love doing this and this and this. And I'm like, cool. She was like, well, you don't want to? Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you get excited about it? Well, I don't know what any of it is. I don't know if I'm excited or not. We can do it, but I don't really care about it.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be in the mountains, in the water. Like that's
just-
my happy place, you
Yeah,
know?
just kind of laying around. I get it. I mean, I think that comes from working all the time,
Yeah.
forever. Like whenever
Since
you
we
get-
could.
yeah. Except for the hiatuses that I took a couple times, but
I mean, there's only really one where you
Both of
took
them.
one and you started a business each time you did
that
it.
is true.
And one of them, you just didn't push the business after you started it.
Both times. I think both times that's
I mean, you had corporate contracts with one of them. It just didn't grow to what you wanted it to grow to.
yeah.
So, I mean, you can't say you didn't push that one because you did do some pushing on that one.
I could have pushed harder. I really think. Well, and so and honestly, I think this is something that Snap-on taught me more than anything.
Yeah.
Is like structure, and there's something to be said about complete consistency. Like-
Consistency is fucking key in everything, it seems like.
And I've kind of been around the block and done a little bit of this, and I was consistent, but like didn't understand the reasonings and everything behind it.
Yeah.
But like on the Snap-on truck, whenever I was working that, I would show up at these shops almost at the exact time every single week.
Yeah.
So they would know. And if I was 30 or 45 minutes late, they were like, hey, what's going on? You running late today?
113, they
Ye-
start looking for
Yeah,
you.
they already started looking. So that kind of taught me, hey, like you start showing up to these places at the same time every week, and that their brain trains to what you do.
Yeah.
So whenever you're here and there, and it's like, well, we don't really know. And it almost seems like they can't count on you, even though you know damn well if there was something come up, you're going to be there.
It might be one of those, you're there every Tuesday, But in their head, they're like, well, he was supposed to be here at 9 o'clock this morning, but he got here at 2.
Yeah.
So maybe it puts some doubt in there.
Yeah. It's not like a huge thing, but it definitely, I think it's a psychological thing more than anything.
Yeah.
So with that, that's kind of what I learned is like just consistency. If you're going to do it, go, whatever you're doing. If you're going and knocking on doors,
Just go do it.
once a week or once a month or whatever, go knock on the same doors.
Yep.
Like they may say no. And see, I didn't understand that before.
And I think that's what, I don't know if it benefited me or hurt me, but that's one thing with sales where I kind of was good at from day one
Yeah.
is I never had a problem pissing somebody off.
Yeah.
I would walk in. I've had people tell me they're going to call the cops if I didn't leave. I'd be like, all right, man. And go back like the next week,
Yeah.
2 weeks later. I've had people that I called like on a cold call, cuss me out, tell me, don't come in here, blah, 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 blah. We're happy where we're at. And I'll be like, all right, man, talk to you next week. Get off the phone, call them again next week.
Yeah.
Like I've never had anybody actually get pissed off. And I started realizing normally the ones that acted like hard asses and were like, go away. Don't even fucking talk to me. I don't even want you here. I don't want you anywhere near me. You kept on. Those were like my most dedicated customers.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you break through that, like they realize you're not going anywhere. Like it changes people a little bit. It just tweaks their attitude.
Well, if they end up giving you a chance, and now granted, it's not all on you. The company you work for has to deliver.
Yep.
But like in everything I've ever been, it's beat pricing, beat timing.
Yep.
So if I can be around the same consistent price or cheaper, even sometimes a little bit more expensive,
Yeah.
but my lead time's 3 days to a week instead of 2 weeks,
Yep.
they usually are a little bit more happy after they give you the chance.
Yep.
So that $5,000 order here in 6 months is now a $75,000 order because you started out with, metal rolls or something
Yeah.
or silicone cloth. I don't know if anybody knows what any of this is, but now you're doing cryogel, pyrogel, like different kind of
Yeah.
aerogel insulations and stuff that are, $8,000 for one roll. I mean,
Yep.
what was I took 4 rolls to West Texas in the back of my truck, and that was like $30,000 worth on
Yeah.
that one order. Like, you get up into that kind of stuff instead of the 5,000s, and then you start realizing, like, hey, they're still the same asshole. So everybody that's calling on them, they're like, no, go fuck yourself. I don't
Yeah.
want anything to do with you. And you're in the door, and
Yep.
if the only person going to take it from you is someone with the same mentality you have.
Yep. The same mentality, and I mean they've got to make friends with them pretty much.
Yep.
Like
It's
There-
all relationship building.
there's no way around it, and I've dealt with it here already. But like I've overcome some of that, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like you call a guy for the first time, and he's like, nope, not gonna fucking touch this with a 10-foot pole. And then 6 months later, like you're actually getting business out of them, and you're like, shit, this is a win.
The ones I always like, especially in the oil field. No, I hate y'all's company. I'll never do business with y'all. If this motherfucker still works there, I wouldn't even talk to you right now. Those are always the ones I enjoy because I'll tell them straight up, like, okay, that was before you had me.
Yeah.
And it sounds cocky and conceited. And they're like, yeah, okay, bro, you're going to make a difference. And I'm like, yeah, I will.
Yeah.
And then you end up going above, like taking those in your own personal vehicle all the way 5 hours, turn around and driving back 5 hours just to make sure they have it on a timely manner.
Yep.
And then when they see that, they're like, oh, this really is.
He's not messing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are always the good ones because it seems to make a bigger impact whenever you do a small thing in my head that every salesperson should be doing.
Oh, everyone should be doing it, but there's not very many that do.
Yeah, I'm sure there's not.
They get, there's too many people in the sales industry that get, oh, this is bullshit. This isn't enough to do this. Dude, one little, like,
This isn't my job.
I mean, even if it is the tiniest, oh, hey, it's a water pump on a Friday at 4:00. Dude, I can get that done, and it's going to take no time out of my day. I'm going to be back home by freaking 6:30 at the latest.
Yeah.
And now I've got brownie points. That guy knows I'm going to show up whenever he calls.
Yeah. And that's the way I think about it. Because like a small order in my industry is anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 to 10,000, say.
Yeah.
So, but if I string together 3 or 4 of those in a month where I put myself out and make it happen, say $30,000 to $40,000 worth in a month on my paycheck, my commission side, I mean, that's $300 to $800 more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you took your paycheck now from, say, a $3,000 commission check to now it's $3,800 just because of 4 trips you made.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at it. Like, this stuff adds up.
It does. It adds up quick. Little numbers make big numbers.
Yeah. And whenever you have a salary and then you're getting commission on top of it, every little dollar, I mean, once you start getting up there into higher salaries, those commission checks, they get pretty decent.
Uh-huh.
I mean, a lot of times, like most places I have worked, my salary covers my bills.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and that's the way you've got to do it, because then that way you always know that no matter, you don't have to rely on that
Yeah.
commission.
I might only have $200 extra a month out of my salary,
Yeah.
but it covers my bills. But whenever you get a $2,000 commission check or a $5,000 or an $8,000, where's that going?
Yep.
Whatever the hell you want it to.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the way I always look at it. And I always push myself, and I'm determined to double my salary. So if I'm making $5,000 a month, I want to be at $5,000 a month in commission.
Yep.
Because that way I'm making $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a downside of mine, but it always keeps me hungry.
Yep.
Because whenever you get up to the $80,000 a year range in salary, I mean, now you're looking at like $6,000, $7,000 a month you have to hit to make yourself happy.
Yep.
So it keeps you hungry, keeps you motivated.
Yep. Keeps you rolling.
That's what always kept me in my head. Because let's be real, I think I've even stated it here. Whenever you knock out a $80,000, $100,000 order, commission order, and you're sitting here and it's Monday, and you're like, damn, my commission my quota for the month's only $150,000. It makes it real fucking hard knowing that you have 3 companies out of all your customers that do $50,000 a month, period,
Mm-hmm.
every month, and you just knocked out a huge one. You're like, man, I'm gonna have $250,000 this month, easy.
It's a gravy month.
It makes it real hard to stay motivated, but if I keep that mindset of, oh, I can double my salary,
Yeah.
it just keeps. I don't know. It's always kept me motivated. To
Oh,
keep
yeah.
going.
Yep. No, it's a good thing. I always enjoy, like, that's my favorite part is like the commission base. Like you're gonna fight for more no matter
Yeah.
what. Even if you do have a salary still, it's like, I mean, with Snap-on there was no salary. It was straight commission. Whatever you do is what you get.
Hey, that's the most money I've ever made in my life was straight commission, brother. I think I worked it for 3 years or 2 years. I can't remember.
I think it was probably about 2.
And each year, the first
Oh,
year,
maybe 3 with both.
I was talking just water filtration.
Okay. I was thinking roofs too.
Yeah, roofs was pretty easy though. I kind of did that. I still kind of do those.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody calls me, I have a guy set up that I'll just tell him and he'll put a check in my mailbox. But with the water filtration,
Yeah.
I was real nervous about doing it. But I think that first year I made like $176,000. But that second year after I got my feet wet, I was on pace to make like $280,000.
Yeah.
And that was just straight commission. But I mean, if you're getting roughly $1,000 a sale commission, and I was on average selling 17 to 25,
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at say on just a median in there, you're looking at $20,000 every month.
Yeah.
And then you sell 5, you get a $500 bonus. You sell 10, you get a $1,000 bonus. You sell 15, you get a $1,500 bonus.
Yeah.
So like you have bonuses coming in at these intervals. I'm always over that third stage interval. So I'm getting like a $1,500 bonus every time.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing that company did, and I thought it was stupid then, but each time you would hit a milestone, they would give you a gift card, like a Visa gift card,
Oh, that's
as
pretty
part
cool.
of your bonus. So the first one was like 100, and the second one was like 250, and the third one was like 500. So whenever I quit there and went, I don't remember where I went. I think I went back to transportation, doing trucking stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember though. But whenever I quit there and went to doing what I was doing, I had gift cards out the ass. And it took me 5 years to go through those gift cards. I bought crossbows. I bought guns. Dude, at one point, I had a stack of Visa gift cards about that thick.
Holy
That
shit.
was like $7,000 or $8,000 worth of shit. Can't tax it.
Yeah. No.
It's a gift.
Texas dick.
Yeah. So that was the thing. It was like, no, they can tax your everything. Like your bonus checks get taxed.
Yeah. Everything else.
Everything gets taxed. So these are gift cards. Here you go. It's an excess on your bonus,
Yeah.
but these are extra that can't be taxed. So you have $500 on a gift card and you have fucking 50 of those things sitting around, adds up real fast. And I
Yeah.
never thought about it. But in 2 years, I never bought groceries.
Just throw it on the yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's great.
My wife would take a gift card, go to Walmart. We would buy $500 worth of groceries. She would do the gift card. They would transfer the balance to another one. If it was like $20 or whatever,
Yeah.
throw it away onto the next one. And I was getting 3 to 5 of those a month. And $500 worth of,
Yeah.
it usually gets us through about 2 weeks,
Yeah.
week and a half. So we're spending $1,000 a month, and I was making $1,500 to $2,000 on those every month. So it was like, I never bought groceries. I never bought gas. I never did anything. 'Cause everything was
on those.
covered.
Yeah.
So that $20,000 on average a month I was making was just going to bills and
Yeah.
plays, whatever I
Yep.
wanted to. And my wife's paycheck, I've never factored that into my outcome.
No.
Like hers is, I don't even touch her money half the time. Like I want that to be your money. You go
Yep.
do what you want to. She spends it on the kids mostly, but hell, there was about 7 years of our marriage where I begged her to quit her job and just stay at home. And she's a strong, independent woman who can't do that. She would probably drive herself nuts if she had to.
Oh
sit at
yeah.
home.
Yeah.
I was like, just start your own business then. She's like, no, I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
Whatever.
For sure. Oh man.
I saw you yawning. It threw me off.
I'm sleepy today. I don't know why.
You know, this is not good because this is like 6 episodes in a row that you're just like,
I'm
just
fine.
saying. Are you?
I'm still here.
You had tears rolling down your face because of that yawn just a second ago.
No, I didn't.
You did.
You're
All watery eyed.
show me a replay.
You're going to be glossy.
Show me a replay.
I'll send it to you later.
I won't upload it till next week.
I'll send it to you next week.
You'll forget.
No. Still trapped.
It's in the noggin.
Still trapped, brother.
Oh shit. Well, what do we have hunting wise? Nothing. The deer. I
We
mean,
ain't
we
got
talked about the
shit.
deer. We could talk about the episode last week
Yeah.
where I screwed that one up.
So Landon has a hard time of not calling good enough good, and he wants everything to be a little bit better.
Just a little bit.
So I'll let you explain it because I'm not big on the technology side as what you were trying to do or what you didn't do or what you did do and fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that, like whenever I was changing stuff, what we did.
We normally record
we made-
1920.
Well, we made the shorts where we came in here, and so
Yeah.
it was cropped in
whenever we
to
do
1080 to
gun,
1920.
yeah, whenever we do gun reviews and stuff, we do 1080 1920, and normally we record on 1920 1080.
Yeah. And so I had to go in there and change it, and I was like, well, since I'm already here changing it, why don't I upgrade us to 4K?
Yeah,
Whenever I did that,
which we have full capacity to do so on this end.
yeah, no, I mean it would have worked.
Yeah.
There's ways that I could have made it happen. I just needed to change our bit rate and turn it up to a higher, basically, how much bandwidth we have for processing power.
Yeah.
And with the software that we use, I just needed to crank that up.
If anybody's
support it.
confused, so am I.
Anyways, I tried to make it higher resolution, didn't have the bandwidth to support it. And so every bit of the video, except for the first like 20 seconds, was choppy as hell.
If you've ever played a video game with horrible lag, that's what it looked like. You could hear us talking perfectly fine,
Yeah.
but like,
Thank
I,
God.
I would go like this, and it would be like
Yeah.
it was weird.
It was messed up. Thank God it didn't mess the audio up. I really would have been,
Yeah, and that was.
I would have been pissed at myself.
And I know it's kind of chopped and stuff in post, and we kind of separated out and everything, but it still kind of confuses me how horrible the video was. But the audio was perfect.
Audio is perfect. It has to do with the video output
Yeah.
and the bandwidth it took up.
You know, there's probably half of our audience looking at you like I'm looking at you, and then half of our audience is like, "Oh hell yeah, I know what you. If you would have done this or this, we're gonna get
Yeah.
comments be like,
So-
oh dude, if
somebody's
you would have
gonna
done
tell
this
us-
and this, you'd have been perfectly fine."
Yeah, somebody's gonna come
Yeah.
fix my issue, and I already think I know how to do it. I don't think I'm ever gonna touch it again, to be honest.
I mean, we get compliments all the time on one, the guns.
Yeah.
I guess there's not a whole lot of podcasts out there with a setup like this, but our video and audio quality, we've gotten compliments since pretty much week 1 on that.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, I mean,
might as well leave it with what it is.
yeah. Which
I mean, unless you want to set up a supercomputer one day, which we could do that.
I think I could swing it with what I've got. I think we've got a 3080 in there, so there's plenty of GPU power. It's just setting it up right.
So if we would have had my future internet, would that have helped out?
No, So
Okay.
all of this is recorded locally. Hence the reason we did run into issues that one time with the memory space.
Oh, okay, yeah. And it just pops straight onto your home server.
Yeah. So
See, when I say I don't know anything about it, fellas, I don't know anything about it.
Hey, you know a little bit.
I know how to.
You got enough knowledge in there to at least make you somewhat dangerous.
You don't have to baby step me through it. Normally, you can tell me what I need to do, and then it takes me a minute to find it, but then I can figure it out.
Yeah.
But I'm not like Landon that can. If I was talking to somebody that does computers and stuff, I couldn't do that. And Landon can just have a full blown conversation.
I think there's a calling that got missed in there somewhere.
Bro, you've been tearing apart computers and putting them back together and learning how to hack phones and shit like that since we were like fucking 14 years old.
Yeah.
Like that was something you were just. I
Yeah,
always
it
said to
just-
your tism,
Yeah.
like you just stuck to it.
It
And
was
you
gifted
liked
or
it.
something. And I mean, that's what it did. Like we talked about this the other day about LimeWire.
Yeah.
I mean, I never downloaded anything from there, but LimeWire giving people viruses and stuff.
Yeah.
And I had the computer and just reset it every time. Like just went in there and wiped it
Wiped it clean
and then
went
moved
started
everything
everywhere.
off.
Yeah. But not.
And that's what I've done. I mean, shit, I was helping people figure out jailbreaks for iPhones in like
That's what I'm saying.
2009. Like
Earlier
year-
than that.
no, because iPhones only came out in like 2007.
But I was in high school with a jailbroke phone,
That is true.
and I never did it myself. You always did it for me.
Yeah.
So that was
Damn.
like at least 2000. I graduated
At least
2008,
eight,
so
yeah.
2007,
So
2008.
yeah, I guess I had been jailbreaking since 1.1.4, like the fourth, and I didn't even get my iPhone until later because we were on.
I got an iPhone sophomore year, I think.
No, it would have been junior year.
Okay.
That's the so the first one came out that year.
So I had a blackjack in freshman year, and then I went straight to an iPhone.
Okay,
And that's why I was saying I want to say honestly, it might have been late sophomore year, but that's why I was thinking sophomore year.
I think it's junior. I think they came out. Well, it may have been late sophomore. That's. I mean, you're probably not wrong there. It's pretty close. So I got mine.
Not that it matters.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. But I got mine August of 2008, I think. I think they came out in like March, April, May, somewhere in there of that year. I got mine like right after. But because we were on it was like Eagle Sound or something like that. They had Singular that they ran through.
Mhm.
But you couldn't have an iPhone unless you were on like actual AT&T or actual Singular or whatever it was
Yeah.
at the time. And so to get my phone to work, I think Christmas time, my parents finally switched over to AT&T so we could get my phone to work. But and you couldn't turn the thing on because it wouldn't activate unless you had AT&T.
See, I never had that problem. Luckily,
It was very rough. And I was like, no, I need to have it. I've already got this phone.
my parents had the first buyout
Oh, okay.
before it became Singular, AT&T, anything. What was it? US something or another.
US Cellular, I think, or something. I don't know.
I mean,
but-
my dad had it whenever he had a suitcase in the floorboard.
Yeah.
Was with that company, so they grandfathered into AT&T. Like whenever I first got a phone, I had unlimited data, unlimited text, unlimited voice.
Yeah.
Like I had unlimited everything, but I was grandfathered in for so long. My parents were paying like $100 a month for 5 lines, unlimited everything, and that was before they had unlimited everything.
Before, well, I mean, I think the iPhone is really what pushed everything to that because before then, like data on a phone was expensive. And then,
Well, text messages were, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you're looking at 10 cents of text messages in some places.
yep. Now I remember all of that. And like, it's crazy to think like, if you left your internet on like the older phones, like say the Blackjack or something
Yeah.
like that, like it would charge you out the ass for it.
You'd end up with a $3,000 bill.
Uh-huh. And I remember like my parents being like, oh God, you were on the freaking internet on this, doing that, you know, whatever. I wasn't even buying anything. It was just on the
Searching,
internet.
yeah.
Yeah. Cause I had one of the little sideways Nokia, had the keyboard so you could search things,
The
but
fancy stuff.
oh God bless, dude. I'd look at that now and be like, what the hell is this?
I've honestly thought about buying a flip phone just to go back to it. I'd be so upset and lost, but I think it'd be
I've looked at stuff like they make dumb phones now, so it kind of disconnects you from all of the daily nonsense. And you know how I am with things.
But that's what I looked for a secondary phone,
yeah,
like something very base and primitive, just for that. Like if I need to take a break from socials, I can leave this phone and I can connect the two.
it's gonna be real hard to take a break from socials anymore. Like
Yeah,
I've wanted to
especially
delete
me.
everything. Yeah, especially you. I've wanted to delete everything a few times, and then I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. There's no ability to now.
But say, because I have to upload, I have to comment on people, I have to not really comment, but I have to speak back to people that speak to us.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm kind of screwed with that kind of thing. But
Yep.
I think a part of it's just being in sales and being okay with 24 hours a day, 7 days a week,
Yep. Just the grind.
because that shit don't bother me. I mean, that's probably why I send 5,000 text messages in a month, because I don't freaking talk.
Yeah.
The only time I talk to people on the phone is if it's you, Bradley, or a customer.
Yep.
Most of the time, if I'm talking to anybody else, it's a text message, or they'll call me and I'll ignore it and text them and be like, hey, what's up? And I will talk to Bosley, because Bosley likes to vent sometimes. So I like to hear him out instead of making him text. But I'm, for the most part, and he understands, like,
yeah.
he will text me and ask me if I'm free a lot of times. And I'm like, oh, okay, he needs to talk. So I'll answer the phone, because he's one of those that's always been there for me. So I'm always going to be there for him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I do talk to him quite a bit, but other than that, it's text. If you want to get a hold of me, text me.
I don't blame you. I mean, it's a lot easier.
I mean, look at us. We have the group chats. We have individual text. And with what our job is, we could literally pick up the phone and talk for fucking 2 hours, 3 hours a day and
Oh,
not have
yeah.
a problem. But we still text quite a freaking bit.
Oh yeah. Yep. For sure. No, it's crazy where technology's come from, because like a lot of these kids, like my daughter was born after the iPhone, and now she's old enough to like use one and I'm like, man, this is insane. And I've told her things, and she's like, wait, what? Like, what was it the other day? I'm older than the internet,
Yeah.
something along those lines. I'm like, that's just normal. And
Are
she's-
we older than the internet?
I don't know. I can pull that up and check real quick.
Now, we might be, but we're not super older than the internet, because from about the time I can really remember doing things, I've had like instant messenger, stuff like that. And granted, it was dial up.
It says 1983, but that obviously
I mean, let's be real. It didn't really.
okay.
All right, 1990.
1990s is the World Wide Web, which is the internet, as I would call it.
So we were definitely in the early stages of that, because I
Yeah.
was born in 89.
Yeah. I mean, it's been around as long as we've been able to use anything, but still, we were born before the
Hey,
what we have as internet.
if I downloaded a picture, I still remember it taking 7 hours
A
and coming
picture.
in. I also remember my mom yelling at me and telling me to get off the damn internet 'cause she had to make a phone call on the house phone. So
Yup.
we've definitely been around for the stone ages of the internet, which
That's-
is, I mean, it's kind of weird to think about. Like,
it is weird.
we've honestly been around through the internet is technically our age,
Yeah.
and look how far it's came.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could have matured as much as the internet has.
Or phones,
Yeah, phone.
like the mobile phone.
Dude,
Because I mean,
that
yeah,
came out
right-
after us, I think.
right around there. I mean, and they were this big and could literally do nothing but call.
Yeah. Well, I remember, and granted, it's my parents, and I was born and raised on a dairy, so it kind of tells you how simple my parents are. My parents could make $5 a month, or they could make 5 million a month, and they would not change the way they live.
Yep.
Like, I promise you right now, if my parents ever hit, I would never know if my parents were rich or not. They could both pass away and give every one of their kids $10 million, and we would never know,
You would have never known it.
because they're the type people that, I don't need all that.
Yeah.
Why would I need that? My dad would take a job and he'd be the one that not ask for a raise, because he's like, I'm perfectly happy where I'm at.
Yep.
I don't need that.
Doesn't need it.
Like, okay,
All right.
that's fine. Me, I'm greedy. Come on, give me more. Give me more.
It's our generation. We're like, we have to be,
Yeah.
because everything has gotten so expensive, and we didn't get to buy into land that was $500 an acre. You know, our land is $50,000 an acre.
Oh, my dad priced the land out the other day, his land, and he was like, "Good Lord, well, I'd have never bought this piece of shit." Blah, blah. I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, it ain't fucking $200 an acre anymore. Whenever you bought all this property, like his was going for almost 15,000 or something like that."
Yeah. Well, and that's
I
it's
was like,
probably
"Good Lord."
honestly, it's probably more than that.
Very well. I
with
mean,
with where it's at, I mean, this shit nowadays, it's insane.
all he did was the Googles, so I mean,
Yeah.
it could very well be 30,000
Wait,
if you
I mean,
really process estimated it.
I think land in this area is anywhere between 20 and 50 an acre.
That's insane.
It's insane. Like, I'll never be able to buy land out here.
Oh.
I mean, maybe, but
I mean, you're looking at buying land out here.
not that much, though.
Well, I mean, you could though.
Yeah, eventually.
We're kind of the same mindset on that.
With land, I mean, there's too many other good places that I could buy land.
That's what I was about to say.
For
I
me to be
could've-
like, yeah, I want to buy land
I
here.
could afford 40, 50 acres here,
Yeah.
and I could make it happen. But I would much rather, which I don't have to worry about it because, I mean, I get 15, 20 acres where I'm at anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can set the stay right there. But if I had to buy, I would buy 2 to 5 acres here and then go west or south
Yep.
and buy 150 to 300 acres for the exact same price I could buy 40 or 50 here.
Yep, exactly. And that's kind of where I'm at with it, is like either do that or Kansas or somewhere like that and have a farm out there
Yeah.
and then just have somebody that takes care of it.
See, that's kind of what, which we've talked about our goals with that.
Yeah.
If we get all of this growing, YouTube going, our other business we haven't really talked about too much that we want to put on,
Yeah.
which is awesome that that's in the works now.
Yep.
That's kind of exciting. I mean, I guess it's not technically in the works. It's kind of already done. It's just whenever
yeah.
you want to
it's-
pull the trigger.
Yeah, it's down the road, but we're going to make it happen.
Which that's automatically it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. But those take off. We've talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
We'd like to have us a big ranch somewhere in Texas, and then different states that we'd like to go to.
Yep.
Like one of my big ones would be Montana.
Yeah, Montana would be freaking amazing.
I would love Montana. I would love
Al-
Ohio. Or
Although
something.
I really feel bad about this. And I guess it's not really like, because technically I don't think if we bought land in Montana, we would have just immediately just go populate it.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like we're the intruders at that point.
See,
But we got intruded first, damn it.
see, and I don't feel like that because I've thought the same thing. I
Yeah.
really have. And I'm like, we hate when people come here and they just start taking up our air. Stop breathing my oxygen. But the difference between us and them is we might go out there and buy 50,000 acres. In 20 years, we are still going to own 50,000 acres.
Yeah.
I have no plans and I have no interest in subdividing any of it.
Yep.
Now, if we split it half and half and we're 70, 60 years old and we're like, all right, we're going to sell it. We might sell it to somebody. And
Yeah.
if they subdivide it, oh, well,
Yeah.
that's not on us. But I think we have the mindset of, no, that's our land.
Yeah. That's
Even if you subdivide everything around us, you're going to be shit out of luck because there's going to be 50,000 acres right there in the middle.
just chilling.
That's just chilling. That's never going to be split up
Yeah. No, that's,
because we want it for our shit.
yeah.
And I think that's what makes me feel okay about it. Like, because my goal, like a dream location for me is to buy 300 to 500 acres somewhere that backs up or is surrounded would be ideal with public land.
Yeah. That would be, that's the goal.
It's all honesty.
And
If I had
thank
that
God
much,
for this. This is, them people cutting that shit out of that bill.
no shit.
The selling of public land is insane, but kudos on everybody that called in and fixed their senators and all that shit
Oh,
to
boy.
stop it.
I have emailed.
Did you?
Yeah. I've emailed multiple times. I have called, I'll say my connections. It makes me sound like a hot shot. But I know people in the Senate and stuff, and I
Yeah.
have called that, and like, at least we didn't have too much to worry about
Yeah.
because I'm not going to put any names out there, but the people I talked to in high ranking official spots, they were against it.
Yeah.
So we, at least for Texas, most of them were on the,
Well, and I think
No.
most of it was out west.
yeah.
Like, And where we're at, like, it's really hard for us to quote do anything around here because, like,
We don't have a whole lot.
for this area, we really have like very like-minded people.
Yeah.
We're surrounded by a lot of people that think exactly like we do. But in a lot of these areas, they just like, oh yeah, whatever, sell off the public land and nobody really cares.
See, and that's my one argument when I talk to people about politics. They know where I'm from, how I talk,
Yeah.
which people are always like, oh, you've never been judged because of, whatever. And I'm like, you're judging me right now just by saying that.
Yeah.
You have no idea how the way I think.
Yep.
But that's when everybody talks to me about government, and I'm like, I don't like either one of them.
Yep.
Like, oh, you have to pick a side.
No.
No, I don't. I go each 4 years is how I go.
Yep.
Like, if somebody like Obama runs and he was pushing shit that I'm like, hey, I like the way you're talking, I'm going to vote Democrat.
Yeah.
If somebody like Trump runs and he's pushing shit that I appreciate,
Yeah.
I'm going to vote
support.
Trump.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those, like, no, I don't have to pick a side. I'm going to listen to each person's and I'm going to research myself.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not just going to say, he's a Republican, he's right. He's
Yep.
a Democrat, he's right. No, they're all fucking against you.
Yeah.
of 'em like
none
you.
of them are on our side
Yeah.
at
And,
all. So
I mean, the only thing they agree on is bombing nations that have oils. I mean, that's it.
it's funny. It's funny how
they
that's
agree
the
with-
only ones we go to war with.
Yeah, they agree with war as long as they have oil or not a centralized government by the Rothschilds or a centralized bank by the Rothschilds. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only people we go to war with.
Yep. That's pretty standard.
And Democrats and Republicans all think the same. And if I had to pick a side, I would definitely say I lean a lot more. I'm about 90% libertarian, 10% conservative.
Yep.
I would say maybe 70-30, somewhere in there.
I was gonna say I'm probably a little bit more middle of the line between libertarian and Republican.
See, I wouldn't even say I'm Republican. I'm just conservative.
Yeah, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm just calling it like in
A spade,
layman's terms.
yeah.
For what it
Conservative
is.
mostly is a Republican.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I want to keep my guns. There's too many Democrats for me at the moment pushing for
Yeah.
can't have this, can't have that, get rid of that. And I mean, Trump's done his own things to hurt the gun industry.
Oh, yeah.
And so obviously I've got things against that too. So
I don't know. I guess my biggest mindset on everything is if it doesn't hurt me or anybody else, why do you give a shit?
yep. It
Like,
doesn't matter.
Look at same-sex marriages.
yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you on it. I don't
give a shit. It doesn't affect me whatsoever. It doesn't hurt anybody else.
Yep.
Even if I didn't have any gay friends whatsoever, I would still think the same.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter.
Why do I care if a woman marries a woman or a man marries a man? Go live your life, brother.
Yep.
You can be a gay man that has 57 AR-15s and 100-round drums that go with all of them. If you're not hurting anybody, I don't give a shit.
Yep. Does not make me a bit of difference.
You can be a gay man and not own any gun and think guns are horrible and don't think anybody should own them. But if you're not hurting me or anybody else, I don't give a shit.
Yep.
I don't know. That's the way I lean.
No, I agree. I'm right there with you on that one. It's life is too short to give a shit about what somebody else wants to do with their life.
Yeah. And that's why when it comes to like the public land and 50-50, there's a part of me where I'm like, I mean, obviously I emailed, I did what I stood on.
Yeah.
But the other part of me where it's like the same mindset of I shouldn't give a shit. It don't affect me. I don't use a whole lot of public land, but that's where I draw the line. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's just the government trying to take more. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, taxes, take taxes for in general. Income taxes were supposed to stop after World War I.
Yeah.
They were freaking temporary.
Yeah.
And they started at 3% or something like
It's
that.
something crazy.
And now we're at 30%.
yeah, and it just seems normal. And they're still asking for more. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I think we need to be at 70%."
And now they
were
make us
pitching.
pay taxes on fucking fireworks to celebrate whenever we separated from a government that wanted a 3% T tax.
I didn't know that.
Fuck them.
Yeah, no, I think at some point there's gonna have to be some tea or said tea thrown over the side of the boat.
I'll say I'm not buying fireworks this year. I'm going to spend my tax dollars on Dragon's Breath shotgun shells, and I'm just going to shoot shotgun shells up into the air. You can see, look at that, America, motherfuckers. I mean, I guess I'm still paying taxes. Can't get away from them.
Yeah, no,
But,
there's no way.
I mean, it started. I might have been 10% because there was a 3% tax, a T tax, is what pissed off our founding fathers. We're like, oh no, fuck y'all.
yeah,
And now we're paying 30% taxes, and just to celebrate, whenever we separated because of taxes, we have to spend tax dollars on
yeah,
or pay tax on that stuff.
yeah. Let's see if some AI comes up with anything. There's not a percentage in there, but anyways, it wasn't like it's minimal compared to what we have today.
Yeah, but regardless, the facts of it, it was a temporary tax for World War One.
Yep. And
And-
now here we are,
We're still paying them.
100 years later, and still
So unless y'all haven't figured out, taxation is theft,
theft.
and that no one will ever change my mind on that. I will argue with a stone.
I mean, like you said, we fought a whole war over it.
Yep.
Our founding fathers would be highly disappointed.
Oh, they would beat the fuck out of us if they saw where we're at right now. And the cool thing about them, that's been back in, and I'm going to say this, being a man that was only born in 1989, arguably 1990, 100% millennial, that's when men were men.
Yeah,
There ain't a man alive today that one of them couldn't come out here and bitch slap.
exactly.
They would fuck our asses up. God, I just wish I wish Barron Trump would let loose of his time travel machine and let us go back in time and fix shit.
Just take
bring,
me back.
Bring one or two of them with you forward.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens in the world.
Yep. No, there's they've got so many laws and everything. Like
Mhm.
that's the unfortunate part is if anything wanted to get like there's no way to just go in and be like, okay, now we need to fix this. It would take something major.
Well, my biggest thing is it's not even the laws. I really do feel like if anybody got into office and tried to, and it would have to be somebody outside of the two-party system.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But if they got into office and said, you know what, taxation's theft, we're going to do away with it, they would be unalived in a month.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know what I mean? Car crash, something.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, and I'm sure anybody, because there's been others that have pitched different ideas, and I'm sure, because I mean they've pitched them and then been dropped pretty quick. I've heard all kinds of things from a flat 10% tax.
well, the way I look at it is how does somebody like AOC, Ocasio-Cortez or whatever,
yeah, Ocasio-Cortez.
how does she go into the Senate with a net worth of $200,000, and now she's worth like $32 million?
Yeah.
That money that we're paying taxes on is going somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever it has been proven that billions of dollars have been paid out to multiple charities and bought multiple things that never had any product
Yeah.
come in, and those same companies are what is a big portion of the $1.5 billion that was spent on Kamala Harris's campain.
Yeah.
You
They're funding these
You
things.
tell me that's not a funding, and that's not a. I mean, look at Barack. He
Oh,
is
yeah.
the first and only president in history that charged a consultation to his successor. He charged like $80 million a year in consultation fees. It might have been $8 million a year. You might want to look. You can probably look that up.
Oh, it'd be all right. I think
But-
anybody can go do their own research.
Yeah,
on
I'm just
anything.
gonna say 80 million. I don't remember exactly what. I'll say 8 million. I don't remember exactly what it
Yeah.
was, but he charged in the millions a year as a consultation fee to the Biden administration. The only president in history that has charged a consultation fee.
Yeah.
So where did that come from?
Yeah.
My taxes that I have to pay just so he can make $8 million a year to not do shit.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that pisses me off. That is just blatant, in your face. I don't give a shit what you say.
Yeah. I mean, and
spending
there's
this
there's
money.
nothing we can do about it.
Not a thing.
There's not any. Nobody's going after any of these people. So it's like,
Well, and the people with the power to go after them are the ones getting paid.
yep.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's
they-
like there's no way me and you could start an uprising, a revolution, if you will, and go after this stuff as politically and peacefully as possible. Go
Yep.
after it. No one's going to take us serious.
no, not at all.
It has to be somebody with a voice and with power, but they're not going to get there
Yeah.
with speaking about this whatsoever.
Well, I
This
mean,
has to
it-
be a slap in the face in the middle of the night.
Yep. And people have brought it up, but then immediately, like they don't
They're
flip,
blackballed.
they don't flip the script, but then they just kind of fade out into nothingness.
Well, they're blackballed in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
think about like any real corporation, like as a salesman, you could get blackballed from the different corporations. You're never going to be able to sell to that company again.
Yeah.
And that's the same concept. You bring up something that nobody likes on both sides, no matter what you bring up from no, it's written off.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm vote no. So you're just fade out of existence.
Yeah.
And that's the issue you have. Like you have to have somebody like, Donnie Trump that wakes up in year 3 and he's like, you know what? Taxes are theft. And has the balls to be like, hey, we're doing this. I'm pushing it through.
Yeah.
And like just
But then,
writes an executive order on it and immediately does it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the only way. It has to be a backhand in the middle of the night that no one sees coming. Is the only way it's ever going to happen.
Yep.
Because even him, he would not ever get that passed.
No, not at all.
Period.
No, not at all. And then that's if he made it that long. I mean, luckily with him, you never know what the hell he's going to do. I don't think anybody really has any kind of control over him at the moment or like can quiet him down.
That's my favorite thing about him, I think, is you don't have to agree with what he says and what he does because God knows he does some stupid shit that even I'm like, God, he's so good for content. But God, he's a fucking idiot. And most of what he says usually works out somehow. I mean, he's just that smart, I guess, business-wise.
Yeah.
But what I love about Donald Trump is you can look at that man and be like, he can't be bought.
No.
Because he's not going to listen to a fucking soul. And I'm not saying he couldn't be bought as far as his character. Everybody has a price, in my opinion.
Oh, of course.
But he can't be bought because he is not going to listen to somebody.
Mm-mm.
You might give him $10 billion and he'd be like, okay, I'll do what you say. And as soon as you say one thing that he don't agree with, he's like, nah, fuck yourself. Like I do respect that.
Yeah. It's going to come out of his mouth
Like
one way or another.
Even me personally, I don't know if I could do that. And I have a pretty strong mindset, but like I said, everybody has a price.
Oh, of course.
And for him to be like that, it's like you have to respect his own like self-worth, I guess.
Yeah.
He's like, no, fuck yourself. I don't care what you say.
There's an arrogance.
Definitely arrogance, yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, it's admirable.
Yeah, admirable, and it's entertaining.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Always entertaining. I mean, hell, that's why you're so entertaining. You just say
My
whatever the hell you
arrogance.
want.
My arrogance is what you're saying? Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Well, we just went on a
Damn.
tangent. I don't even know what we've talked about this episode.
Me neither. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. And then.
Hey,
name
if
it.
you're listening still, leave it in the comments on what we even talked about this episode because I'm lost, but I'm having a good time.
Oh, of course.
So there are some things I did want to ask you.
Okay.
One of them's just my personal curiosity because I love bushcraft.
Right.
And between obviously you know some stuff about it, but between the two of us, I would consider myself more of the expert in the
Right.
bushcraft sense.
Yeah.
So since we're going on our bear hunt and we're going to be in the middle of the mountains, no access to anything for, roughly 2 weeks,
Yeah.
I want to ask you, what are your top 5 must-have tools in the field?
All right.
Like if you could only take 5 things to survive for the next 2 weeks, that's kind of my question to you. I want to know what your headspace is and where you're at.
All right. So I think
Starlink internet,
no. If I'm only
a
taking
battery
5,
box.
that would be nice. That
A
would be
cell
nice.
phone.
But with 5,
Yeah.
I'm limited.
Yeah, no, I was just giving you a
Yeah.
hard time.
No. I would probably have to take some kind of hatchet. I was thinking like K-bar knife, something like that, but I need a chop.
Yep.
Need something to chop. So we're going with a hatchet because I can use that as a knife if I need to.
Mm-hmm.
Probably waterproof matches. Just because that's probably like flint and steel. That's a good one. It's not as for sure going to happen.
Yeah.
Like that's going to take you a minute. Those matches, you just light them up, and
Yeah.
I couldn't even blow one out the other day. I was playing with fire.
Yeah.
Struck one, and I was like, "Oh,
Dude, some of those waterproof matches, they are like impossible to get out. Like there has been times where I've lit a fire and I'm like, and then I'm having to just throw it into the freaking fire, not even thinking about it. Like, why not just put it there anyway? It's fucking wood. It burns.
yeah." Well,
But-
mine, I lit it inside the house, in my room, away from like water or anything, and I was like, "Oh,
Please tell me you were lighting a candle or something.
no,
You were just playing with fire.
no." I just
You're going to pee the bed. So at least what my parents always told me. Maybe why I peed the bed till I was 17. I don't know.
Oh shit! But no, I did. I was like, well, I'd pulled it out of the box to kind of all my stuff ready for the trip.
Oh, okay.
And so I pulled it out and I was like, hey, I want to make sure these work. And so I struck one and I was like, okay, it works. And then I was like,
I can't go anywhere.
it's like, well, guess I'm just gonna stand here and just and got to the bottom and went out. And I was like, okay, good.
Thank God I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, I just stood there and stared at it. So definitely
Waterproof matches.
waterproof matches, a hatchet, need water. Okay, so some kind of stainless steel canteen of some sort,
Okay.
something that I can put in the fire to boil water.
Yeah, I got you.
So that's gonna be 3. Then we need shelter and a food source. So either something that we're gonna hunt with,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a gun or whatever, or MREs. I don't care whichever.
Yeah.
I'd rather hunt something down, but let's say a gun. We'll just go with a gun.
Okay.
We'll go with a regular, say 308 rifle, just so that we got something good. We can take down whatever the hell we want up there.
Yeah.
So that's 4, and then shelter. We can either build a shelter. I'd probably just go with a hammock of some sort, and then kick it.
Yeah. That's fair.
I mean, you got all your necessities at that point.
Yeah. And the reason I asked you this is because I got into an argument with he's a bushcraft expert on the Facebooks.
Yeah.
And I will say right now, the guy knows hands down more than I will ever know.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy literally lives it. He went to Indonesia.
Oh, damn.
Indonesia? Was it in?
That's a long ways over
Is
there. guy.
Indonesia next to? That's the one that Australians go to a lot, right?
No. New Zealand?
No, it's one of those Asian-y.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
maybe
Indo. I think it's
Indonesia.
Indo. But he went out there and lived for 60 days
Damn.
in the forest. Like he does shit like that. Like he
Yeah.
gets paid for bushcraft. Like does
Bless you.
trainings. Like
Bless you.
welcome to Dropped Outdoors, Ashley.
One more time.
Let us hear you sneeze again. But knows hands down more than me.
Yeah.
But he told me his top 5 objects he would take.
Okay.
And I was like, makes no sense. And he was like, why? I was like, because I live in the 21st century.
Yeah.
You want to say hi to the people? Bringing the cat? Girl. But nope, he brought he listed a thing, and I really wasn't trying to be argumentative when I
Yeah.
put on there, but I was like, some of these don't make sense to me. Can you explain why you would take those? And him being on Instagram and I guess running his own account, he was like, yeah, cool. And he's like, I'll DM you. So he listed his things off. And he was like, why don't these make sense? And I was like, because I live in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Like, why do I need to take a ferro rod? Well, what do you mean? What would you take? I said, I would take an electrostatic lighter that's wind resistant, waterproof.
Yeah. I mean, that makes
And he's like, well, that's not bushcraft. I was like, who says?
yeah,
Just because-
who's the king of bushcraft?
Just because in the 1800s you had to have a ferro rod.
yeah.
If I had to survive in the wilderness today, that means everything created today
Oh yeah.
is what I'd have to survive
It's-
on.
Yeah.
And whenever I think about bushcraft, I think about surviving off grid right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's the whole thing about. I mean, to me, that's what bushcraft is
Being
something
able to
happens
survive.
today, and that we cannot live in a normal society, whether it's EMP or anything like that, that causes everything that we know as a normal society to be gone.
Yep. And that's where my mindset is. And I understand traditional bushcraft. You don't want to do that. You want to learn to live 100% off the land, this, that, and the other. What happens when this happens, whatever. But if I'm trying to survive out there the rest of my life, yes, my answers change.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But if I'm going 30 to 60 days,
yeah.
my lighter's going to last well longer than that.
Yeah.
And your goal is with fire, don't let it go out.
Yeah. Don't let it go out. Like with the matches, my plan is to not use very many
Yeah.
of those. You keep that fire going all the time.
Yep. So whenever I started thinking about this question, I was like, what would I take? I'm taking a bow
Okay.
because I can build my own arrows. Don't have to worry about that. I can do my own fletchings in the field.
Yeah.
If I kill something with them, I can reuse them. I don't have to worry about taking a whole bunch of shit with me. I can get fish the same way, tie a string to the arrow, tie it to your wrist. You have a very primitive bow fishing setup.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I was thinking bow. as far as bringing in food, stuff like that. Now, you're not going to be able to, with a handmade arrow in the field, I would not be able to make one to take down an elk or a bear
Yeah.
or anything. It would be a lot of small game, but I would still have food.
You can survive on
Yeah.
small game.
So that was where my food access went. And then shelter, I can build my own shelter.
Yeah.
So I need a tomahawk.
Yep.
I need some kind of handheld axe. I would like something with a little bit of weight on the top end, but within about 12 to 18 inches long total.
Yeah.
That way I can carry it on my person at all times. It can be used as a weapon and as a tool. You said a chopper. I know a lot about, I mean, obviously I like tomahawks.
Well, that's
so-
that's where we differ, and you know a whole lot more than I do. I mean, you throw me in a hardware store, and I'd come up with something that I'm like, hey, you give me something to pick from.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. But to me, like, I'm just gonna call everything a hatchet for the most part.
Yeah. Well, where a lot of people don't know that there's two different types of axes.
Nope.
Like
I
there is a cutting axe and a chopping axe. So a cutting axe has a very narrow
Yeah.
sheath or blade, I guess the
Yeah.
weighted part is very narrow. It doesn't come out like where a chopper is wider.
Yeah. It's gonna.
So whenever you hit the wood, it naturally splits it wider to help split the wood.
Okay.
It's a splitting axe.
Yeah.
And then you have your natural, like a cutting axe that is a lot narrower. See, I would take a cutting axe because I can do the exact same thing with that axe as I can with a machete or a knife.
Yeah.
I mean, you can arguably skin and gut an animal
Oh, yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot harder, take a lot longer, but you can do it. So I would take one of those, and again, you would use it as a chopper. You just wouldn't have the weight of it, and you wouldn't have the natural splitting motion.
Yeah.
But you can get a stick out in the woods, use it as a top of the hammer. It's going to split whatever you need to.
Yep.
So I'm going to have those two things for shelter and food. And me, I'm going to get a reusable UV purifier that you hang from a tree. You go into, find you a nice
Yeah.
fresh water that's relatively clean. You want it to be as clean as possible, obviously.
Yeah.
You fill that thing up. I mean, they make them huge.
Oh yeah. They make them big enough for showers and stuff.
But you hang that thing up in a tree, the sun bakes in, it purifies it. It comes down through, it looks exactly like a life straw.
That's
Then you
that was
open it
my
up.
other thing. As I was either thinking canteen of some sort or life straw, and I went ahead and went canteen for just having water with you all the time.
Well, my issue with boiling it is you don't get bacteria out that way.
Okay,
So whenever you boil it, it kills bacteria, but the bacteria is still in the water.
gotcha.
And bacteria can still infect you even with it being dead.
fair
So you can purify it yourself. Small sand particles with charcoal made from your own fire.
Yep.
Filter it through there multiple times. It's going to taste like shit, but it's going to be completely
It's
completely
gonna be
pure.
yeah.
So it's going to be purified, and then you can cook with it, stuff like that. With this, I don't have to worry about it. It kills everything. It goes through the life straw mechanism, which those things, they can last. I mean, you can get them where they last a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to buy replacements for the life straw. But if I'm only going out there 30, 60 days, that's what I'm taking, because I can put that thing in there and you fill that thing up. You hit a little valve switch, it dumps down into your cup and whatever. So you can drink it right there. You can cook with it, whatever you want to.
Yep.
So that handles my main three. I have fire, I have shelter, and I have food, and I have, well, what did I say with fire? Oh, I said the little electrostatic
Yeah.
lighter. So I have bow and arrow for food. I can build my own shelter with my tomahawk.
Yep.
I have the water purification for fire, or for water, and then I have the electrostatic for fire.
Mhm.
Outside of that, those are really your primaries to live. So on my fifth one, it would be a double up situation, in my opinion. Like fishing pole. Do I want to do something like that? Do I want to have some sort of system that I can actually store the meat, dehydrate it, stuff like that? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think I would probably have to lean with some kind of container for water.
Oh, like a pan or something. That
like
would be
something
smart.
so you
yeah.
could cook
Yeah.
whatever. If you wanted to make your own stew, like small with some of the meat that you've got.
Yeah, you
Something
could do
along
that.
those lines. That's
And that's really not a stupid idea, because the cool thing about that is you can make all your food there. Say tonight you didn't kill anything to eat, you still have all your bones left over.
yeah.
You boil all those bones in that water, you can sit there and drink it. You can get up to 1,000 calories off of just the bone boiling up in there. And that's really all it comes down
And so
to.
that's kind of where I was with the can. I mean, I wasn't saying like, oh, let me get this soft sided canteen and throw it in the. I'm
Yeah.
talking like just some kind of
yeah.
container.
a hard pan, like
Yeah,
a
a pot,
stainless steel
something.
pot, something
Yeah.
like that. And that's kind of where I would be with it. I mean, of course, when I think about food and stuff, you can cook everything on an open fire.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm not. I wasn't saying you needed
Yeah.
to cook.
But I never really thought about the pan because if I'm living like struggling, instantly my head goes with flat surface rocks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you could definitely
Set
do
them
that.
up over the fire on 2 logs. That rock's gonna get hot enough to cook eggs, man.
Yeah.
So you can throw whatever you want to on there. You're good. But with what you said, that does make sense because now I can keep all the bones, internal organs, anything like that I want to, boil it all up on days I don't have food and stuff.
Yep.
There you go. And you can build your own drying rack.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, as
no,
long as
that's
you keep the flies away and clean it good, you're good to go.
Yep.
And if you're anywhere when it gets cold, you're kind of good anyway. But I don't know. That's why I wanted to ask the question to you, because when I think about it 21st century.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm taking quality of life shit. I'm trying to thrive. Like if I'm stuck out there, I mean, I want to get to a point where I'm damn near living like I am right now.
Yeah. And I can live without internet. I can live without services. I can live without stuff like
Dude,
that.
you could take this phone tomorrow, and other than wanting to still make a living and talk to my family, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am with it. But that's
Like we're all addicted to it.
yeah.
Like I'm on that thing 24/7, but you could take it from me tomorrow, and I think I would. I lived through not having one.
I don't think my quality of life would go down without it. My ease of life would definitely plummet,
Yeah,
but my quality of life wouldn't go down.
and I couldn't win arguments as easy.
Where you just Google everything. And see, I don't know, like, but whenever I think about that kind of stuff, that's where I go with, and it pisses people on the communities I'm in. It pisses them off so bad because everybody thinks about they're living in today,
Yeah,
but they're going to take a ferro rod. They're going to take very bone-based primitives. Like, I'm going to take a slingshot.
why?
Why would you take a slingshot? You know what I mean? Like little things like that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and people that say fishing rods, why would you take a fishing rod and line?
Yeah,
Why? I mean, I get it, but now you're limiting yourself to one. I can literally make my own string out of plant fibers and stuff,
yeah,
twist them together. You can get those things where they're almost unbreakable. You do enough of them, you can make as much line as you want to. And like I said, you can tie that to your wrist, tie it to in front of your fletchings on your bow, and
Oh, yeah.
literally go bow fishing for fish. Take the string off and literally go hunting with the same tool.
yep,
And I think about multi-use tools whenever I think about this stuff.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
What's easier? Because you could take a handsaw and build a shelter a lot faster.
oh, for sure.
Hand spun auger kits.
Yep,
A lot of stuff makes shelter building, chairs, and that's one thing I want to do on the bear trip. I want to build my own bushcraft chair out there
that'd be pretty cool.
because we're on public land, so you can cut down some trees. I'm not going to cut down no big trees. I'm not making a shelter,
Yeah,
but I'm going to take branches off, and I want to build my own lounge chair.
that'd be pretty cool. I think we can probably come up with a couple of small projects like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna be out there long enough, and from what I've heard, we're only gonna be hunting a few hours a day, and
Yeah.
then everything else is just gonna be hanging out.
In the mornings and in the afternoons, from what I understand.
And if it's 70 to 75 degrees during the day,
At the high,
I'm gonna be chilling.
yeah, I'm going to be outside all freaking day. I mean, I guess we're going to be outside
Yeah,
all
we
freaking
don't
day
have a
anyway.
choice, but
I'm going to be moving around. I'm not going to be just sitting
Yeah.
around trying to cool off. But another thing I wanted to bring up, and I hope y'all enjoyed that little tidbit of questioning because I wanted to see, and the reason I wanted to ask you is because you are very 21st century yourself.
Oh yeah,
So I was like, well, with Landon, I could see him being more on my side than a traditional bushcraft, traditional survivalist.
yeah,
I'm not taking shit that was made in 1990 that's rock solid, and I agree. Why mess with the classics? Because I don't have to live in 1990
Yep,
anymore.
we
I'm
don't
living in
have to do that.
2025. Like I have legit a lighter that makes a static charge that can catch almost anything on fire if you hold it in there.
yeah,
I don't have to have a match. I don't have to have a ferro rod.
yeah. No, it's
That's my
I'm
thought
in
on it.
agreement with you. Like the reason I go with the match is it's proven just tough as hell.
Yeah.
And so that was perfect for me. Like I could take a lighter. Lighter sounds really cool, but I've seen too many lighters get wet and
It would have to, for me to take a lighter, it has to be a static one
yeah.
because they're waterproof, they're windproof.
Yeah.
You can light it
that's-
under anything.
Yep.
As long as you have dry material to light, you're good to go.
Yep.
But my next question is off of one of our previous podcasts. We had a follower give us an idea. We were talking about overland vehicles, what we would use,
Yeah.
set up, stuff like that. Well, Mr. Ryan Thomas, I hope you don't mind me saying your name. Didn't ask. But he said, and you might want to look these up and pull them over.
Okay.
He said, pick up a Lone Peak or a Go Fast style camper. It's a happy medium and your truck stays agile enough to get up those gnarly areas. I said, well, the issue that we would run into is some areas we go, we would have to turn that camper into either rock crawl or an off-road capable camper. And I don't know how well that'll work. He said, it's not a trailer though. It's as capable as your truck, like a skeleton slide in. So I've never seen one before, and I didn't know exactly what he was talking about. So with that being said, I was going to pull it up, and I wanted to get your thoughts on what Mr. Ryan was talking about on this. What is this, a Lone Peak?
Yeah. This is the Lone Peak.
So that is what, just a bed put in, and it kind of makes, I guess that's just a living area?
Yeah. So it looks like a living area. See if I can find some more pictures.
Oh, okay.
So basically, camper shell up here, or tent up here, and then it basically just looks like it turns your bed into that.
like the camper shell?
I do have some issues with it.
Okay, that's why I wanted to pull it up.
Let me pull the other one up too. What was the other one? That way I can just verify that he wasn't on to something and I'm just talking shit for.
Pick up a Lone Peak or a Go Fast style camper.
Go Fast campers. Images. Okay. And I'm still seeing the same issue.
So it's about the same shit.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Let me pull this one up
So instead of just something a roof rack, this is basically a camper shell that is set up kind of like a roof rack.
Yep. Let's click on that picture and then maybe I can get this set up and then everybody can see both of them.
Okay, so this is kind of what we were going with, but this looks like it actually sets up your truck bed and everything, doesn't take up space.
Well, my God, if I could actually get something done around here. This is taking forever.
No one needs to see us anyways.
All right, there we go. Okay, so love the design. This was one of the first things I started looking at.
Okay.
Seems cool. I love it. We talked about this already this episode, though.
Let me ask this real fast. Is this looks like, in both of the pictures I saw of the Go Fast style and the Lone Peak, it looks like you get in your truck bed and climb up through the middle.
Yep.
And there's probably a hard case lay down that you just sleep on top of that.
Yep.
Okay. I'm good.
Okay, so with that being said, we've already talked about this today, but we're 6'3" and 6'4".
Yeah.
And if my memory serves me right, these support up to about 5'10", and I will verify that just to make sure. But
So what you're telling me is my little sausages would be hanging out the end.
yes, yes, sir.
I don't like that.
And that was my issue. The reason I wanted the type that I was looking at is because it folds out sideways, and you end up with about 6.5 to 7 foot.
It comes up and then it has a fold out to the sides.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that was where my head went with it because, well, I've got to think about that. And a lot of people don't. Like we said, the average height is like 5'10". Probably
this
be
guy
great.
could be 5'8", 5'10", and that works amazing for him.
Yep. But with me being the size that I am, I immediately start looking at, I can't find it, but let's see. I'll Google it real quick if you want to talk about it.
I mean, no, but that does make sense. Like, if the link's only 5'8" and I'm 6'3", where's the rest of my body go?
Yep.
So you would have to sleep in a ball, and that's cool for a night or two. But I don't even know what 96 inches is. I can handle about 3 to 4. That's about all I know.
When closed, sleeping is approximately 50 inches wide by 90 inches.
So 90 inches in length.
That does not sound like what
Like
I've looked at before.
2.5 yards. So you're looking at
So it says 7.5 feet, but you're talking it comes down at the end and then goes up. So what you have up here is not a whole hell of a lot of room for.
I could manage that though.
I don't think that that's what they are in reality. Because I mean, if you look at the one that we just had pulled up, that one particular, that's on a Tacoma. And
How
those
big are
beds
those beds?
5.5 foot, and it's not hanging over 2 foot.
Let's say I wish we could see a good side angle from the. Yeah,
That
you're
one's
looking at-
definitely not. That's a 5.5. That may be a 6.5 foot bed. That one may be closer. That one was an F-250.
But yeah,
Yeah,
they're
no.
only hanging over at maximum on any of these trucks. They're hanging over 6 to 12 inches.
Yeah, they're not very long, and it's there are some that they go almost all the way to the front of the cab, but then you've got to have a roof rack and everything.
Yeah.
And it turns into an ordeal. I looked at those two, I think, but for me, I looked at a bunch of them, and the easiest route that I was looking at was just get a camper topper shell, put all of your stuff inside, put the decked system in there, and then put the little other decked system in there so everything slides out
Yeah.
past the tailgate, and then have all that in there, and then you stick a camper on top that folds out sideways, and you've got at least 8 foot of room side to side,
And you have your ladder on the outside of the truck.
and the ladders on the outside. That's
Which, as far as compactness though,
oh yeah, that's a great.
this works great because you wouldn't have to have any other sort of setup.
Yeah, no, it's done at that point. So
Yeah.
it's a cool setup. I like the look of it. I like the fact that they've got. Oh, let me pull this picture up real quick.
And
There
that's
you
the
go.
cool thing. You could set up your,
Solar.
You could set up your Jackery system.
Yep.
Shout out to Jackery, sponsor me. But
Week
and then
two.
throw your solars on top of that, and
And you're set.
you have your whole battery system for ever.
That bar right there, you throw up your Starlink, and then you're.
Oh God, Landon.
Hey, I've already got it. I've been testing it this week. That thing works everywhere.
Whenever you told me that you were driving around in your truck with your Starlink, it made me laugh. I'm not gonna lie.
It's pretty great, dude. Honestly, like I drive down so where I normally lose service,
Mm-hmm.
I drive through that area and I hold calls because I'm on Wi-Fi calling. Doesn't even slow down, even with the trees and everything there.
How do you think it would work in Odessa, West Texas, and
Fantastic,
those shitty areas?
because it's wide open skies.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the new like I don't. There's not a week that it would have gone by that I wouldn't have had it. While
Let
we
me
were
ask
out there.
this: how much is that a month?
How
How much is the whole thing?
So the whole thing, I got mine on a sale that they were having, and it was $250 for the dish and everything.
And that's the one-time purchase.
Yes, the one-time purchase. They're normally like $500 for the dish, but it was half off on the sale.
Yeah.
And then let me pull that down. I guess I don't need that up anymore. But and then I got the unlimited plan. Obviously, if you're just using it to survive. Me, I'm like, we're going on this road trip. I want to be able to thrive.
Well, if I got it, that's what I would want to do: is
Yeah.
have it for any
Anything.
occasion.
Yeah. Yeah. no,
Whether
I
it's
was
driving around in West Texas in the oil field roads where I don't have any service, that way I do have service,
Yep.
versus going to stay in Colorado in the mountains for
Yeah.
2 weeks and having internet if I want it.
Yep. No, that's so I went ahead and went the unlimited plan. There's another plan that's $50 a month. It gives you 50 gigabytes. Probably enough for most people just to have the bare minimums.
Yeah.
Me, I brought it, had my laptop set up in my truck the other day and was doing my training on location.
How much is the unlimited?
165.
Okay.
But that works everywhere in the US.
Yeah. And 165 with what we would use it for is probably the better deal.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and it's got this great thing where you can pause it if you're not using it. So from July till September, probably won't need it at all.
Yeah.
And then come September, I'll fire the plan back up and I don't have to pay it between then.
And just so y'all know, we've thought about a lot of this because of wanting to make videos, and where we are going to be hunting is very remote locations.
Yep. And if we can punt,
We can edit and shit like that each day whenever we're done at the campsite.
yep.
And that's going to make life a lot easier.
And like we talked about, I would love to do a podcast today while we were out there, whether we drop them then or hold them off for several weeks. Like,
yeah. And I might have to clip this so I can put it on TikTok and Instagram. But let me know if y'all would like to see a live stream podcast in the field on the bear hunt.
We could do it.
Set out there, get 6, 7 microphones, and just live stream it.
Yep.
That way, y'all can be on, y'all can talk, and we might just do it anyway, and maybe put it on TikTok. And
Yeah, no,
Call it
I think
good.
we could either do live or we could record it and then drop it literally that night.
yeah, I was just thinking about a live stream. If we could live stream it on Facebook,
Oh yeah.
TikTok, whatever, live stream it on multiple platforms where people can actually get on there and watch and comment in and be a part of it while we're out there on the hunt. I think that would be a cool situation, cool
I
setup.
think we could probably set it up on your laptop.
Yeah.
Log into everything at once, click go live, run it through the camera, run OBS, and then hook the cameras through it or microphones through it.
We'll have to look into that. I'd be down to take it and see.
Yeah.
Because I think that would just be a dope ass thing. Do a live on Facebook, on TikTok, and then anybody that wanted to come in and hang out with us, ask questions, bullshit like that.
Yep.
Tell us there's a bear behind us, shit like that. I mean, I think that'd be kind of cool to do maybe not technically a podcast, but a live stream while we're there hanging
Yeah.
out, talking to people,
Yep. No, I agree. I think that'd be pretty cool.
sitting around the campfire.
And that goes back. That's why we kind of thought about the Starlink. I mean,
Yeah.
plus I'm me. I want to have my cool shit.
Yeah. But that was what the original thought was on taking the Starlink with
Yeah.
us was the content creation side of it.
Being able to do all that. But yeah, no, you can pause it whenever you want and start it back up. Like I didn't start mine until two days ago because I wanted to test it this week before we went on vacation, and it's been great. And I started it, and they were like, "Okay, here's your prorated bill for $50," and I was like, "Perfect."
Cool.
So it's an interesting setup compared to what like we talked about earlier. We've come a long ways.
Yeah. I'll say it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
But with that being said, let's go ahead and end it. We're an hour and 36. Again, let us know if you'd like to see the live stream. I think it would be a cool idea. Let us know what you think. On top of that, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. Leave us comments. Follow us on TikTok, Spotify, all that good stuff. And don't hesitate to reach out and say shit, whether you want to argue with us or you want to bring up topics and questions for us, because we would love to answer anything y'all have, at least to the best of our ability. But outside of that, I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a good one.
See y'all later.